favorite TV grandmother, Andre's grandmother, Marilyn
Hi.
Harris, Marilyn Harris Smith. We have her here on the Culture Outlet, and I just want to get into it. So, like, how did you go about getting this role on Victorious?
My agent sent me for the audition.
Right.
Um, yeah, I had no idea what it was about, but when I got there, there was like 19 grandmas. So it was the competition was fierce, but that's acting. You just go in and you do your best, and you hope for the best.
Right. So, like, how was a day like in a life? Like, how was that set up in your role? Because I know we saw you many different times in different episodes. So, did you shoot all your episodes at once, or like how did that go?
Oh, they would shoot them separately, and what they would do is you would go in, and then they will give you a call sheet. They have your email, and they would email your call sheet telling you what time, what day, and all that kind of stuff. And so usually you get there really early, and it's a lot of wait time. You're just
Right.
sitting around waiting to film. It can take from all day to just a couple of hours. But the interesting thing is, I was only supposed to be there for one episode.
Wow. So you
Yeah.
must have to put like a good impression for them to make your role reoccur.
I don't know if it was a good impression, but I think what it was is that when they uh, do the showings and they ask what character you like, what is this, what is that,
Right.
a lot of the young kids, they love the crazy, so they
Right.
love that, and I think that's what had me coming back.
Right. So like your role was like I'm I don't want to say it like a crazy grandmother.
She was crazy.
She was crazy. She was crazy. Did you ever feel like that role was like stereotypical of like a black grandmother growing up, or like how did you feel about like securing that role? Like, did you feel like it was stereotypical?
I did not feel that it was stereotypical. I felt like it was comedy
Right.
because it was a show for young kids. It was there to be funny. I mean, the teacher was a little off. I mean,
Right.
Robbie went around with a puppet,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So I think it was just um, the character was there for comic relief.
Right.
And she was so focused on her crazy, but she would immediately calm down if Andre said, calm down. He was the only one she would listen to be honest.
Right. Right. So a lot of people wondered like could like you and Andre get like another show together? Was that in the works, or like a spin-off? Because y'all chemistry on the screens was really like we can see like as a young black man watching Victorious, you can see that relationship, and you having a relationship with your grandmother is no relationship like that. So like,
Oh.
did y'all ever like probably like, well, we need to do a spin-off because
A spinoff would have been great. The show ended so abruptly that it's like people were asking for a reboot. They were asking if there's going to be a spinoff or anything like that. But unfortunately, it never happened. But it
right,
was a great acting experience. We did have chemistry. He is a very nice young man, just
right,
very nice, very talented, and I really personally feel like the only reason I got that part is because we look like each other. We
right,
have similar features. And
right,
that's basically what acting is. You have to fit the vision first, and then they go from there. It's like building blocks to actually get you to land that part. And that was a major part of it.
right, right. So I know Leon is now Grammy nominated. He has a lot of hits.
Yes.
Did you see the talent while y'all was on when y'all working together? Did you see the talent in him? Because now he's like boosting off.
He's amazing. I did see the talent. I actually knew about him before I booked the role. And when they said he was playing my grandson, I was totally excited because he did this movie called August Rush.
Right.
And he had a main role in that movie. And it was one of my favorite movies. So when I found out that he was playing the grandson, I was like, I got to up my game. I was just like, I was excited, and he just was so humble, so polite, such a great actor, musician, writer, composer. He's multi-talented, and his parents are very nice as well. I
Right.
see where he got it from. His dad's a musician, so
Yes, yes. So do you are you still like in contact with him? How's your relationship? Because y'all had that
I
chemistry.
I'm in contact with no one. Well, I am in contact with Matt Bennett, who
Yeah.
plays Robbie. We've been in contact. I've done a couple of Party 101 LA
Yeah.
shows with him.
Yes, he actually came down to my state, and I wanted to go so bad, but I couldn't. But so you say you're in contact with Matt. So okay,
Yes.
okay, okay.
Those
So
things are wild. If you ever get a
yeah,
chance to go, go.
I
It's
saw a lot of videos. I was like, oh my god. I love Nickelodeon. So like, I love Drake and Josh, iCarly. So
yeah.
if you was on Victorious, like, what show would you want to be on? Like Drake and Josh, iCarly, um,
Um,
what
Big Time Rush.
Big Time Rush? You know,
Yeah, because they got all those good looking young boys and they're singing and dancing and
right?
I like that show.
I could see you as like Kelly's grandmother or her mother. I can see that. Like if Big Time Rush does a movie, you can be her mother. I can see that.
Oh, well, thank you.
I
From
can
your
see that.
lips to God's ears.
So when y'all see her in the new Big Time Rush movie, that was
Hey,
yes, yes.
I love
So,
it.
so, so Ariana Grande, Victoria Justice was all on set. So like, did you like get to interact with them, or you had to pretty much stay with Dre the whole time? How did that work?
The way it worked was it's a long shooting day, first
Right,
of all. And usually, with all of them being young teenagers, there's a law that they can only work so many hours. So they would always do their scenes first.
right,
And then they would do the adult scenes. Now, if I happen to be in a scene with them, that's good because that means I can get my work done and get out of there. But the way the studio was set up, they had a common area where everyone would hang out, while they're waiting for either a rehearsal or to shoot a scene or whatever. They had arcade video games in there, and on one side they had the catering. It was like an actual kitchen. So
wow,
I mean, everyone gravitated to that area. It had big comfy couches and chairs and whatever. So there were times that we would hang out, together in
right,
that room. But I was usually I'm playing a grandma, so I was usually with the parents of the kids,
right,
you
right,
know.
right,
Unless I decided to challenge him on a game or something like that. But it was a very comfortable atmosphere. Everyone, I think the main time everyone was all together all at once is when we would do a table read of a script.
right,
So we would each have the script in front of us, and it was just like reading a book, except we were acting it out. So
right,
we would say line by line and just, you know, go all the way from front to back. And that's how they would work out what words flow, what was funny, what wasn't funny. I had a very easy role. I just had to be crazy and be loud. It
right,
was
right, right,
it
right.
was easy, man.
Well, this next question I'm about to ask might be like a little sticky question, but like,
Uh-huh.
who out of the whole cast was your little favorite? Because every grandmother has their favorite. So who was your
Who was
favorite
my favorite?
out of the whole cast?
Rex the dummy.
Okay, okay, that was
No, I'm
good.
just kidding. I didn't have a favorite. I really didn't. If I really had to choose, of course, it would be Leon Thomas. We worked
Right,
together. Our scenes were together, but they all were very nice, very sweet. I mean, Ari, Liz, all of them,
right,
Matt, you know, Avin, all of them were very professional, very nice, and it's really cool to see how well they're doing as adults
right,
because they were excellent at their age, absorbing a script, doing the scene, just doing pickups. It's so much more to acting than what people realize, and it could be a long, long day
right.
sometimes. and it's just I never saw any temper tantrums. I never saw, you know, the stories you hear about people not getting along or anything like that. I
Right.
never saw anything like that.
Well, that's great to know. That's great to know. So we know Zoe 101. They just came out with a new movie
Mhm.
a few months ago, and
Yeah,
I know talks about a Victorious reboot came and kind of went because of the allegations and different things by Dan Schneider,
yeah.
all that. So, has it been any talks, or it's just been silent?
Um, there's always talks,
Right,
but I think every time someone like iCarly or Zoe 101 something comes up as a reboot or a movie, fans of Victorious wonder why it's not Victorious.
right,
They have that, and that's a common question, and I totally understand it because the fan base is so strong. I
right.
mean, I have a podcast, Victoriously Crazy
Yeah,
podcast, because I when I was on social media, they kept asking questions. They kept asking me this, they kept asking me that. And I just, you know, rather than just trying to answer questions, and I just started posting some pictures I had from back in the day, and you know, little funny videos and different things on my Instagram, which for
right,
some reason got shut down. It was Crazy Cool Grandma under my name. I did um stand-up comedy, but I
right,
opened it up again under real Marilyn Harris because people were like, what happened? It was
right.
actually 14,000 followers on that account.
Wait,
That's how,
is
yeah,
your TikTok still up?
yes, it is. I forgot.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me. I
Okay,
forgot
because
I had that.
I do a little bit of TikTok. So yeah, I do a little bit of TikTok. So I think I saw you up there, but
Yeah,
we gotta get the Instagram back. We gotta get the
yeah.
Instagram back.
I'm working on it. I
Okay.
just see it as it's there for I'm all about God, so I talk about God. I talk
Yes.
about victorious. I you know, I try to be encouraging, tell people, you know, just believe in yourself, that
Right.
type of stuff. It yeah, I just it's still there, but it's not
Right.
as robust.
Right. 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 It's all maybe that Instagram you're taking now is probably God's plan. Yeah, something bigger is on the way. So
I
that's
love
why
that.
when I see something in my eyes and I say, oh, that's wrong.
Yeah.
God's probably thinking, oh, I'm just preparing you for something else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's just a change in the path, you know.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So
I
we know
love
that.
that.
Yes. I'm a pastor kid, so like, I
Oh,
grew
well, you know.
I grew up in the church, so like, I know a little bit of
Yes,
something.
I
So
love that.
yes, so we know the SAG after strike has finally ended about a week ago. So how's that affected you? Because we know you're a part of the union.
Um, it actually dried up our extra income from acting. My husband is also an actor.
Right,
It's acting is not our only source of income. If you're an actor and that's your only source of income, you're in trouble
right,
because acting is so unpredictable and you never know when you're going to get booked or let alone an audition. But yeah, it did slow things down as far as auditions and different things like that. And it when I asked them if I could continue my podcast, they said it was kind of connected with Nickelodeon, which is a studio. So the answer is no. So you have to honor that.
right,
If you're part of a union, you have to do what they ask you to do. I
right,
don't think anyone thought it would go that long, but then they were hoping if it did that they would be able to make it. And everybody made it. I mean, I went out and got on a picket line, me and my husband. There's some friends I know that were captains that were there like every day. It was a long haul, but we got what we wanted because a lot of people don't understand with the AI is so crucial because just like we're talking
right.
and you're recording this, you could take my face, you could make it into an infomercial or you could put it in a movie or something like that, and I would not get any pay for that.
Wow.
That's what the whole AI battle was about, and they call it synthetic actors, which is a weird name, but it just basically means that when you sign off, they use your image over and over. They could take your head off of your body and put it on something else, if you get a new job and you're signing paperwork because you're employed there, you're not reading everything and they tuck it in there and you have no idea you signed away your talent, and that's basically one of the main things, that and streaming. So it worked out. I mean, it really did.
Well, that's great. That's great. So now that the truck is over, your podcast is officially back. Can you talk a
Yes.
little bit about that and how?
Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, we're going to drop a new episode tomorrow. Um,
Oh,
yeah, thank you. We had Matt Bennett is the production supervisor, and he's an amazing young man that I met online. I call fans of Victorious grand fans, grand for grandma, fans for fans of Victorious, and I've always communicated with anyone that will communicate with me, and he was one of those people that I communicated with. He asked me to do a podcast like you, and I did it. And then my husband and I, Percy, we do run throughs of game shows. We
right,
test game shows. That's one of the things we do. And he had a game show idea, and we ended up doing some Zooms and different things, and we kind of got to be like social media buddies. So
right,
one day I realized I probably should just do a podcast about Victorious because so many questions are coming in and it's just so time consuming answering questions, because when you get into a thread, a conversation,
right.
it can be very time consuming. So I said, I'm going to do a podcast. I had no idea. I didn't even really know what a podcast was, to
Wow.
be honest.
That's okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
but
Time testing.
God said, do it.
Right,
And so he contacted me and he said, if you decide to do a podcast, I would love to help you with it, because he was already doing a podcast called Inside American Idol, or something with American Idol. His
right.
handle on Instagram is at TV Music Guy, but he was really involved in his American Idol and he knew all this stuff. And so yeah, we got together and he's just I told him, you're the production supervisor. You tell me what you want me to do. And he just he took off, man. He just took off and started contacting people. And it's been amazing because so many people are willing to be interviewed about Victorious,
Right.
you know, and they're like you know, very comfortable talking with you and very,
Yeah.
smiling. And I like, you know, I love your questions. You're just such a cool young man.
Thank you.
And we were trying to make it a comfortable, safe space,
Right.
and it caught on. So I'm very blessed that God saw us doing that. My husband and I co-hosted, and Bennett kind of runs it, and it's been a
Right.
lot of fun.
Well,
It's
that
been a
sounds
lot of fun.
cool. So I know me personally growing up, it was a war between Nickelodeon and Disney Channel.
Yeah,
Did that war is that a real thing? Because in my mind, I think a lot of of us was like Nickelodeon. If you do Nickelodeon, you can't do Disney Channel. If you do Disney Channel, you can't do Nickelodeon. Is that real? Like, did you ever run
it's real.
it?
It's
It's
real.
real. It's
It's real.
it's
It's
real. Wow.
It's you know what is so bizarre? I don't know why it's real, but I do know that I've heard some people say Disney is the devil on set.
No
I don't
comment.
I don't know if I don't know if it was a joke. I
Right.
don't, but where I live across the street, there was a house for sale,
Right.
and they had an open house and we was in there, and some kid recognized me from Victorious, said, "Oh, are you from Victorious?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And this lady just walks up to me and says, "I hate Nickelodeon." And I'm like, "Okay." So
Right.
I don't
We
know what it's
we
about.
a lot of people go through this debate because Nickelodeon and Disney, they like they built a lot of people's childhoods, and like it's a big debate. But I was like, why can't you love both? I love both of them. Um,
I'm good. I have no problem with either one. It's like it's weird, huh?
it is kind of weird. It's like very kind of political. I was like, it's just a TV show.
And they're both in the same business. They're giving young people that are very talented the opportunity to express their talent and, get out there and stuff. But I guess it's because they're competing in the same,
Right,
realm. They're both, but there's so much out there that they both can coexist. I mean, they
right,
obviously are. So,
right.
you
Okay.
know.
The last, close to last thing I want to talk about is the my favorite episode of Victorious when y'all collaborated with iCarly. That episode, oh my goodness, I was waiting for it to air. So, were you on set during that, or like how?
Yes.
Okay, so how was that? How was that?
It
How was
was amazing. It
okay?
was there was a lot of rapping, you know.
Right, right.
Remember that scene?
Sam
Yeah,
was Sam was on the mic.
against
Yeah,
Rex, and she got a little funky with him,
yes,
and I loved it. I thought I was looking at how talented they were with the rapping and Sinjin flying into a jacuzzi or
right,
something, and it was a long shoot. You know, my scene was like micro short. Where
right,
I'm there partying, and Andre's like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Rex told me about it," and
right,
which meant. There was a line there that, oh, well, grandma is in connection with Rex, and Rex is in connection with grandma.
right.
But it was, and oh God, Keenan Thompson.
Oh, did you
S-
get to meet him?
Yes,
Yes,
such a nice man. I mean, just totally cool.
right,
Just very professional. When I do acting jobs, I like to watch people and see how they operate in
right,
in that environment. And one thing that I've learned from my husband is never complain,
right,
uh, always be on time, always be where you're supposed to be, always be pleasant. If you're having a bad day, don't let that interfere with your work. This is your
right,
job,
right,
you know. And I totally got that from him. He knew his lines. He was just totally cool. And Leon, the way he wore that panda outfit, so
yeah,
you don't really see from the TV
right.
how many scenes he had to take running back and forth, you know.
Leon was in the panda outfit.
No, it was someone else, but he
Oh,
was
okay.
chasing the
Oh, yeah,
panda.
when
I
he was
misspoke.
chasing, right,
He We actually did an interview with the guy that is Eric Betts, I think was his name, that
right.
actually wore that. We Bennett tracked down the panda. So it was like,
Everybody during that episode, everybody was trying to track down the panda.
yeah, yeah. Everyone was chasing him. He was messing with everybody, hitting people at the party, and Leon had to do a lot of running chasing him.
Right.
Yeah, it was yeah, that was an interesting episode. So,
Okay, I just want to say thank you for this interview and everything. And like, what's next for you? Like, what show do you like? If you could be like, I want to do this show right now. That after strike is now over. What show would you want to do, or movie?
I would actually like to do The Neighborhood. I've auditioned for that show maybe about 3 times,
Right,
but I haven't been blessed to get the part. But I really like Cedric the Entertainer, and I like I can't her name escapes me now, the woman that plays Cedric's wife on the and
uh,
what's
Tashina.
her name?
Tashina.
Yes,
I
that's it.
love Tashina.
I love her. I remember her from Martin, you
Yes.
know. And the lady was, I think it's Joy Bear or something. I may have her name wrong, but the
Mhm.
lady that plays the neighbor, my husband worked with her on Two Broke Girls. She's a really, really nice lady.
Right.
I would like to be on The Neighborhood if I had to pick.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Put
the
that in
one.
the atmosphere, and I could see
Uh-oh.
you.
Can
I
you
could.
hear that? Somebody's trying to call me. Oh dang.
Oh,
I should have put it
I
out
could.
there. Just stop. Okay.
Okay, and then can okay for the culture, can we get a Andre one time? Can we get the Andre? Can we get it?
How long
You
do you want it? I don't want to blow your mic out. It's like, because I can
oh,
do it.
you can do it until you feel like stopping. Like this is feel like stopping.
Okay. All right. You ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right.
Okay.
Andre! I'm talking to my link. Andre! What?
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. You're so
Can
kind.
you hear?
Yes, I can hear. I can hear. Did they have to cover their ears when they heard that? Like,
Sometime
okay.
when Dan said get loud with it, I was like, what do you mean by loud? Because I can get really loud.
Right, right, right. Thank you so much for being on the culture outlet. You're we just wow. You're like when we think about Victorious, we think about you. And I don't think you get the recognition that you deserve. So I'm gonna give it to you
Oh,
today. So I feel like
thank you.
you're a big part of the show. So when you do that, okay, cool. When you do
Yeah.
that,
See,
Victorious.
I broke your camera. I told you. I warned you.
When they do that Victorious reboot, you have to be in it. If they do it, I'm rioting if you're not in it. I will go there. I'll go to
You're
Paramount.
funny.
I'll go to Paramount myself. Yeah, I'll go to the offices. But thank you so much for being on the culture outlet. And I'm gonna have Matt up here. I have to get in contact with Matt Bennett.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
mean, you should, because he is such a nice young man, and if he has the time, I know he's busy with the
right.
the Party 101 LA shows and different things like that. But I mean, he did our podcast, and we were totally shocked,
Right.
that when we contacted him, and he was open, to it.
Okay.
So
Okay,
yeah,
that's great. That's great. We're gonna have to have Matt up here. So
that's right.
thank you so much, Miss Marilyn Harris Smith, everybody, and thank you for listening to the Culture Outlet.